Hello everyone, this is TamaCat44 and this is the second part of my secret Jouju review where I will go into the gameplay and features of this pet. I must advise you before I begin that I'm very new to this virtual pet and had to use Google Translate to understand the text and the menu items. So I apologize if there are any words or interpretation that may be inaccurate, but I've tried to understand the gameplay of this pet to the best of my ability and hoping to show you what it can do. So I'm going to turn it on. So here you have the side panel. And it opens, and you turn it on by flicking the switch on like that. So there's the watch screen there, and that's the loading screen. And then there is my character. So I'm gonna just first just dive right into it with the main screen here. So this is what you're gonna see. This is kind of like when you watch your character walking back and forth and doing different things. So I'm gonna take you through these three icons here. The first icon is the wooden sign, and it will take you to the garden. You can plant different seeds that grow in the game, and you can grow different items. So I'll show you right now an example. So if I there, as you can see, my garden is empty right now, but if I click on the seed, I can click on, these are the seeds that I have. So I'll click on these pretty purple ones here, and then you can choose where you want to plant them. So you can plant it there, and then you can take your watering can, and then you can water your plant. So the growth time I find is different for each seed, but you can always come back and check to see what your seed has grown into. Sometimes it's food, sometimes it could be like a different item. It really depends. I'm not quite sure what each of them grow into, but yeah, that's what the garden one does, and you can grow up to 3 different things here. So I'm going to go back. That's for the garden. The second icon here is the door icon. So when you click on this, your character will be walking. And then you have a bunch of different menu items here. So all of these I had to kind of translate from Korean to English. So I'm not certain if they're completely accurate, but I tried my best to make sure that they were somewhat, that you could comprehend what they're supposed to do. So the first option here is the game option. So you click on it, and then you see your character at an arcade or at a game station. And then there are 4 different games. So the first game here is called Harmony Stone. So if you click on it, and basically the object of the game is to avoid hitting the rocks or the wood or anything like that. So the way that you do it is your character jumps over the obstacles, and the way you can get her to jump is if she is by tapping the screen with your stylus. And then we won here. And we won 150 coins here. These are points. I think these help you build up your skills and stuff, but the most coins that you can get is 200. So that's kind of similar to the Tamagotchi color versions. You can get 200 coins in total. The next game is called Mealtime. And basically, this game is pretty straightforward. You have to touch the following foods. And if you miss one, you lose your option for more coins. This one is actually pretty easy, but I do like the animations and the colors. It's actually quite cute. But as you can see, it's quite easy to win. Yeah, and see, I got perfect, so I got 200 coins here. So then there's a third game here. And this is like a picture matching game. So for some reason, I find this game to not be very responsive. I'm not sure if it just takes a while to load. I'm not quite sure. Hopefully it'll start at some point. As you can see, sometimes the game itself is not very responsive to the stylus, which I think some users can find frustrating. So here we go. Basically what you do is you just tap the picture that does not match the other ones. So pretty easy to get coins. Yeah, quite straightforward. Success, and I get my 200 coins. And we'll go back. Oh, sorry, I went to the wrong game. So as you can see, it is sort of, like, even I'm making mistakes. It is kind of confusing because you don't actually know what it says. So you kind of have to go off of what you remember. So this last game here is a jumping game. So basically you have a little character and there's a meter. And as the meter fills up, when it gets to the very top, you click and she'll jump. And I guess the higher she jumps, the more coins you get. So I guess that was successful and I get 200 points. So that's it for the games. They're pretty easy as far as virtual pet games go. I mean, it's an easy way to get coins for sure, but there's not really that much challenge in the game. So if you are looking for a virtual pet that has like a bit more of a challenge in the mini games, this might not be the best pet for that. So we have the game station that we already went to. Next, we have the park. So the park is where you can meet people. So as you can see, she's meeting a friend. I unfortunately don't know what they're saying. And I guess you can have different options of what you can do with your friends. So here they're just, looks like they're chit-chatting. And with each thing you do, you get a certain skill point, which I will go over later. The park is also where you can adopt animals. You can get pets in the game, and I'll show you my pet because I already adopted one, so I'm not going to try to adopt a new one, but I'll show you what the pets do afterwards. But that's what basically you can do at the park. You meet people, and you can get pets. The third option here is the school. And my character is currently a teenager, so she can only do certain subjects. So she can do the playground, which is the first option here. So you'll see her jumping rope. And the animations are actually quite cute. And then the second option is the library. And you can see that she's doing some reading, doing some studying. And then the other options, if you go to the next screen, are science, music, athletic and cooking, and dance and art. So unfortunately, some of these are locked, and I think it's just because my character is too young, so I'm only able to do the playground and the library. So, or my skill set isn't good enough yet. So obviously that's stuff that has to come afterwards. So that's it for the school that I can show you at the moment. We're going to go back to our menu. And then we go to our next screen, and this will be the shopping area. So your character can go shopping. The first option here is the general store. And you can get seeds, toys, and essentials. The seeds are the seeds that you've previously seen that you can plant in your garden. and they cost 100 to 1,000 coins. The next option here is toys. So you can buy toys and activities for your virtual pet. And you can see they're kind of skill-based, like there's music, there's athletic, looks like kind of math stuff. And these are all the different things you can get. And I assume the more that you play with them, the better your skill set will be. And then finally, there is the essentials. And the essentials, it's kind of similar to the color versions of the Tamagotchis, like the IDL, where you buy the vacuum and stuff for cleaning. So you have a mop there. I'm not quite sure what that is. Maybe a washcloth, a toothbrush, and a couple other items that you might need around the house. So that's what these are for. And then the next menu here is the interior store, and you can either get decorations or furniture. So the decorations is where you can buy different backgrounds. They're quite expensive. This one is 8,000, so it's a bit more expensive than what you see in the Tamagotchis. I'm doing a lot of comparison to the Tamagotchis because that's what I kind of see this as similar to. And yeah, they are quite pricey. And then there is furniture. You can also buy furniture for your character. So you have a lamp here, bookshelf, table, and looks like another kind of like an accessory, an armoire, and a chair, looks like a bed. So you get some pretty cute stuff here as well. And then the third option here are magical materials. Now, I don't really know much about the character being able to do magic. I think you have to go to school and you learn certain things, and then your character can do magic by getting different ingredients. So these are magical seeds, it looks like. So there's only one seed available, and I think I can plant that in my garden and get a sort of material from that. And then if you go back, these are magical materials. So you have wood, looks like an orb of some sort. Looks like some potion, a leaf. So these are all just kind of some magical items, and I don't really know what they do yet, but that's where you buy them. And then if we go back to our main screen again, the next item is the dress shop. Unfortunately, my character is too young to buy clothes, so I can't actually dress her yet, but that is the option for that. And then there is the hospital. So your character can either get a vaccination or be healed. So if your character is feeling sick, you can get something done so she'll feel better. And I'll show you the animation for that. It's pretty cute. So she's getting a needle right now. And then I'll show you the other animation as well, just so you can have a look. And then here we have a first aid kit. So now she's feeling better. And then we have our next screen. And this is an animal hospital, and you can do a couple different things at the animal hospital. You can get a part-time job. You can adopt an animal. You can also get vaccination and treatment for your pet. So let's start with this. So she's going to do the part-time job, so you can earn coins doing that. So she's just sweeping the floors, and she'll get 20 coins for doing that. And then the next option will take you to the adopt a pet. So you can also do that as well. So here are all the pet options. I'll show you the pet that I have later on. It's not an option yet for me to show you, but I'll show you that later. And then you can also get your pet taken care of. So I'll just show you one thing. So she's going to get her pet vaccinated. So that's my pet right there. And it's a bluebird. And the vet will look after her. And there you go. And then on the next option, there is the zoo. So you can get a part-time job at the zoo, or you can see the animals. The animations for part-time jobs are relatively the same. It's just her sweeping. So let's go and see the animals. So that's the zoo. And then here, at our next screen, we have the bank. And you can put money into savings, you can withdraw money, and you can check your balance. So I didn't put any money into my account yet. Oh, and I'm being kicked out from my bank for some reason. And it just kind of shows you the different ways that you can invest money. I don't really know much about this part here, but I assume as my character grows, I'll be able to kind of get a better sense of what each of these are supposed to do. We're going to go back. And now we have the Science Museum. It's unfortunate you can't really see what they're saying because there is a lot of text in this, and I think it'd be pretty cute. So it's unfortunate that you can't really read all the different things. And then we have the theater. So as you can see, there's a lot of different things you can do in this, which I think is pretty cute. Lots of different destinations and stuff to do. So that's what I really like about this pet. And then we have the cinema. Oh, and then it'll tell you the cinema's closed, so we can't go there unfortunately right now. And then there are two last items. There's karaoke. I don't think I can go to that right now. And then the very last one is the aquarium, and I don't think I'll be able to go to that one either. I think that one's closed until a certain time, yeah. So that's it for the door icons that I have access to at the moment, but hopefully that gives you a good idea of where your character can go. I'm sorry I couldn't really provide a bit more information about each thing, but I'm kind of figuring this out as I go, but hopefully it'll give you an idea of the different things you can do. Finally, there is this little face icon here. And it'll give you kind of all the different options for figuring out your character's status, what it needs, and providing the essentials. So if you tap on the little phone icon here, it'll tell you kind of like the status of the character. So the name, the age, the weight, how much money you have, and friendship points. Then it has your basic food, so how hungry it is, how happy, the skills it has, and the friendship stamps. And then here you have moral, magic, feint, and charm. So I'm not quite sure how these things get filled up. I'm going to have to kind of see what my character does and see how the bars fill up. But as I say, if you have any sort of suggestions or have any answers, please let me know. Well, you can comment on the bottom because I'd love to be able to know what each of them does. And then here is the cooking, music, knowledge, and health. And I assume these are the things that you do at school. So as you can see, I went to the library, so my knowledge went up, and the health because she's been playing on the playground. So her health is up as well. This one here is the player. So as I indicated before, you have different charms that you can put into your watch. So this is my first generation character, and it's showing me what she's like. Her favorite color is pink, her blood type, what generation she is. So it shows you the player that I have right now running. And then let me see what this part is here. Oh, yes, and then these are the actual settings. So this is the date adjustment. I'm not going to do that right now. That's the time. You can change that. And then you have brightness, volume, watch background color. So because it functions as a watch as well, you can change the background of it. So this is what the background color is. And finally, you can change the watch background based on what you like. So this one here is a teddy bear. Oh, I guess that's the only one I can do for now. So I also want to make a little note about the time before I continue. The Secret Jouju watch, you have your regular time that you can like set so you can actually check the time as like you would, but in the actual game part, the time is not corresponding to the actual time that it is. The more that you do in the game, the faster time goes by, but you can't actually turn it off, and it like you have to play it for the character to grow, which I mean in some ways is fun, but it's also kind of annoying because you need to play to see it evolve. So I had to play with mine for quite a while to be able to see it evolve into a teenager. So I guess the more you play with it, the more stuff you'll be able to see and the more that your character will evolve. I'll go to the next menu item now. This is the food. So here you have your meals. So you have rice, chocolate, milk, and I'm not sure what that is. I think that grew in my garden. It looks like a pumpkin and an orange. And then this is the restaurant, I believe. So these are the different foods you can get at the restaurant. I actually quite like all these cute little meals and their details. It's actually quite adorable. And then she can go to a different restaurant and get different foods. So she can get a whole bunch of different things. So there's like a Japanese restaurant, there's like a Chinese restaurant. It's actually quite cute. I really, really like that. And lots of different food options, it looks like. Let's keep going here. This is the bathroom icon here. So here you have the toilet and the bathtub and brushing your teeth and the house cleaning stuff. So we'll just do this. It's pretty similar to the Tamagotchi. You click on it and they'll take a bath or use the bathroom or kind of whatever you need them to do. Here is the options for your pet, and I'll show you this because I think it's really cute. You can feed your pet, you can give your pet water, and you can play with it. So I'll show you the food. So as you see, I had the pet bird, and we gave her some food, and now she's having a bite to eat. And then you can give her water. And then finally you can play with your pet. So you'll see her playing with her toys. And then this is the dress icon. I can't really do much because as I showed you before, I can't buy clothes just yet. So I'm not really able to do much with that. Here we have, I'm not sure what this one is. This I actually have no idea what it does. It's a teddy bear thing, and I haven't really figured out what you can do with this. So if you have any ideas or suggestions, I would love to hear them because I was kind of playing around with it, but I didn't actually see what it does or wasn't clear on what it does. Here you have the clover icon. So similar to the Tamagotchis, you can praise, talk, scold, soothe, and you can care for your pet. So I clicked care, so then a sitter came over and she's looking after my character now. And then we have the castle, and I don't know what that one does either, so I'm going to not show you that one yet. Suitcase is just all the different things that you own. So it's your seeds, your magical items, toys, and other things that you own. And And then you have the garden icon, so that'll take you right back to the garden as we showed before. This is the time, so this is the time that your watch is set at. And then you have your book, and here it'll ask you, there's like an album, there's a diary and certificates. So these are a list of all the different characters that you have and different things that have happened to your characters. This is the diary. And this is the different certificates you can get. So there's a science certificate, dance, music, cooking, art, and phys ed. So you can earn different certificates by going to school. So basically that is about it from what I have interpreted so far. As you can see from this, it's very, very text-based. It can be very confusing trying to figure out how to use it, but once you kind of have the different, translations and you've used it for a bit, you get used to it. What I do find a little bit frustrating is having to play it to be able to have time pass. Because I really would like to see her grow up into an adult so I can kind of unlock different things and see what else it can do. But yeah, that's kind of what I have so far for this virtual pet. I do like the animations and I do think it's quite cute, and I'm hoping that I will kind of figure out some more about it. But until next time, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below in the comment section. And I will also provide a link to my English translation guide. This is just the guide that I was able to come up with. It may not be 110% accurate, but it's just something to go by if you'd like some more information about your pet and how to run it. So this is TamaCat44. Please hit subscribe, and goodbye for now.